this solid? Can you hear me?
That's better, yeah.
Do you want me to just like yell? I'm solid with yelling.
Hold, I want you to yell into the microphone.
What? Alright, who are you?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Women in the Mongol society had many jobs. They could become writers, thinkers, philosophers. I'm very proud to be a Mongol woman.
We were more protected, we were respected, and we weren't treated poorly.
Yeah, and overall, like, increased trade as well.
The Mongols controlled tax on us, they did low interest rates, and we were able to support our family and able to trade.
And the prices were reasonable. We did have some taxes, but in return we got the protection from the Mongols.
The bubonic plague spread along the Silk Roads, and that was as the Mongols set up and protected these roads. So, in your opinion, did they not aid the spread of the bubonic plague? Well, couldn't you be biased?
Well, it just depends on the fact if you respected what they did for you, well, for us, but they never treated us poorly.
So, could it be possible that the Mongols protected both the merchants and the Silk Roads just for their own gain?
They did so much for the Persian people. They made trade safer and increased our communications with other people. They were also religiously tolerant, which for me being a Muslim was very important because I got to practice Islam freely.
I respect my ruler, Genghis Khan, and I believe that he deserves credit for all his achievements. He has inspired me to dedicate my life and even write a book about him and his legacy.
He wrote, "The Mongols now descended from the walls and began to slay and plunder. They then drove all the survivors, men and women, out onto the plain, and it was commanded that the town should be laid to waste in such a manner that the site could be plowed upon, and that not even cats and dogs should be left alive. They severed the heads of the slain from their bodies and heaped them up in piles." You said that you admired the Mongols and how they conquered. You view that as something to be admired, not to rule people?
The plunder that we stole was fairly and evenly distributed among the troops and was like obviously and transparently distributed. Do each other's company and practice each other's like religions together.
This system aided in the transport of foreign and domestic tribute over 1,400 stations, and that's in China alone. Not only that, there were thousands of utilities to help make the journey more comfortable, including 6,000 boats, 50,000 horses, 6,700 mules, 1,400 oxen, and I don't think I need to go on. This was the first international postal system, and it wasn't too shabby to say the least. Through this postal system is brought Eurasian integration, unification, profit, and job opportunities through easier trade. Even Marco Polo traveled along these postal stations, and he even remarked how efficient this early postal system was. Wasn't it, Marco?
Yes.
That is all.
Wouldn't that hypothetically make you biased towards the Mongols?
No, not really.
What exactly were those stamps?
They were stamps given to me by Marco Polo. I mean, not Marco. By Kublai Khan.
I heard that you were Jewish, but later you converted into Muslim. How do you think it was possible to do such an easy transition in the Mongol Empire?
I think that the religious freedom was a big factor that helped make the transition so easy, and without that religious freedom, I think that it would have been very hard.
This combination of large sum of money and allowing you to keep your position made you biased towards your opinion of the Mongols and Genghis Khan?
Not exactly. It's because he had a certain rule where if you agreed to what he said, then you were left alone and you were fine. Whereas the people who didn't do that were persecuted, killed, etc.
So yeah, so you're saying that unless you agree with him, you were killed?
If you submitted to his rule, then yes. But just
so agreed?
Yes, I do agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe in fair treatment of women, and in fact, I believe that it was my daughters who made my empire a success after my death, not my sons. And later, after my empire began to decline, it was actually my daughters, I believe, that brought it back and revitalized the entire nation.
I believe all people
should be treated equally, but those who work harder deserve their respect. I united tribes that would feud against each other throughout many millennia. I greatly regret the death of my brother. I feel as if it was a true mistake that I made, but you must know during this time my family was exiled to almost refugee status after the death of my father by another tribe. I believe my greatest mistake is letting history forget that I am a person. I still make mistakes. I am not perfect, and I feel that history has forgotten that I am just a person.
Did you like to kill people?
No, no one enjoys killing others.
Well, I have some surprise evidence here. It's actually one of your quotes that we found fingerprints of in your journal. And it says, your greatest happiness is to vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to the pure bosom their wives and daughters. So,
That's describing people that have hurt me very, very, very much. I am definitely in no way condoning killing or hurting anybody, and I wouldn't say that my source of happiness would be in any way hurting and harming others.
I mean, you stated that.
You must realize that I am keeping hold of millions and millions of people, and through these people, I had to take a certain image.
So you say you united everyone, correct?
Yes.
I think you forced everyone to join your empire.
It came as a cost.
Okay, no further questions.
Defendant Genghis Khan and his descendants aren't that guilty of being uncivilized. The defense has argued of the good the Mongols did for Eurasia with trade, religious tolerance, and the mercy they had on the conquered who surrendered. But this makes death seem like a simple means to an end. This is not to say that others did not do the same or to discredit their influence, but their influence was achieved in such a way that left a pile of bodies in their wake. For those who didn't surrender, they made it practically impossible to be able to regrow agriculturally, economically, and socially, with their only sources of food or irrigation completely destroyed. Civilized people would at least allow the respect for women and children to survive and for societies to move on from the destruction as a way of preserving human life. The war atrocities that were committed by the Khans have demonstrated their complete disregard for the lives of others, enemies or not. They repeatedly saw the populations by the thousands in their relentless quest for power. In the Mongols' conquering of Eurasia, they destroyed and terrorized people from China to Russia, Egypt to Afghanistan. They were fine with killing people in cruel ways that would never normally be accepted. The Mongols were conquerors and murderers who perhaps were able to see civilization in societies other than their own. Their own great empire fell because they didn't even understand what it took to run one, and these are facts that simply cannot be ignored. As your job as jurors, it is your duty to seek justice. We ask that you find the defendant guilty as charged. Thank you.
He's brought here today for questioning for his behavior as a ruler. Though there are some points to be made against Genghis overall, he's a respectful and civilized man. Through his reign and his descendants, they have brought advancements to societies that others won't see for many years to come. His more notable characteristic was his cultural and religious knowledge. Out of his 4 wives, his favorite was Trapi, an Nestorian Christian, which was not of the same religion as Genghis. He looked past religious differences and looked to more crucial matters. He did not force his people to convert because he respected others' ideas and beliefs, which is hard to say for other rulers at the time, like in the Byzantine Empire and the Mali Empire. Some empires have been even discriminated towards other peoples and other religions, not letting them have government jobs, etc., etc. This trait led many of the peoples he conquered to see Genghis Khan not as a conqueror, but as a savior.